And we were agreeing that we're seeing more and more landlords who are looking to sell up. But that's a great solution for people who don't really need the money now, just want to get away from the hassle. So you're actually getting £150,000 for a property that's only worth 130 now.
Hi guys, so David Coughlin, National Residential, also the owner of the Landlords Sales Agency, and I'm here with Simon Zutshi, the owner of the Property Investment Network and Crowdfunding. We're just having lunch in a fancy part of Birmingham, Edge Bastion, all Simon's treat. Thank you very much, Simon, for picking up the tab later. We were a cheap date though, we just had a light lunch. But on the back of the interest rate rise yesterday of 0.5%, that's added another £5,000 a month to my own mortgages on my own portfolio. I was down talking to Simon about how that's impacted a lot of our buyers and sellers in the market, and we just got chatting about a lot of the clients that we work with don't necessarily want to sell their portfolios now, but they need a solution to some of the problems, getting rid of the mortgages. And Simon was telling us about some fantastic strategies that their clients, if you want to just tell the team.
I will do, David. Yeah. So first of all, great to see you. And this interest rate rise, we've seen them creeping up over the last couple of months, and I think most will believe that they're going to keep creeping up. But 0.5% increase is quite a bit of a shock to people, and there are many landlords who for the last 10 years have been making really good cash flow on their property only because interest rates, the base rate was at 0.5%. And then I had standard variable rates that were banking with a base rate plus 1 or 1.5%. So they've got used to this. I mean, lots of single let properties which wouldn't normally make money were making cash flow. So as these rates are starting to go up, obviously landlords are going to be making less and less money, right? Their profits being squeezed. Add that to the fact we had Section 24 introduced in April 2017. It's phased in over 4 years. So we know that many people have incorporated, or some people have already sold up. But I think a lot of people, because interest rates were really low, they were still making good cash and didn't feel the pain. Now they're going to be feeling the pain. And we were agreeing that we're seeing more and more landlords who are looking to sell up, okay? Add to that the question about, well, what's happening to the economy? Are we going to see a bit of a dip? Are we going to see a big recession? Personally, I don't think we're going to see the kind of crash that we had in 2008, 2009. I don't think it's going to be that bad. But what I think is going to happen, I think if we see a dip in prices, I think there'll be many landlords who remembered the crash and are worried that they could lose 20-30% of the value. And because they've had such great growth over the last 10 or 12 years, I think we'll see them sell and maybe take a bigger discount because they want to sell at 10-15% discount because they don't want to lose at 20 or 30.
Well, I was saying to Simon, so we've had some clients contacted just yesterday who said that their profits have been wiped out. So their profits have been wiped out in terms of the rental profits. Obviously, we've got those Section 24 taxes. We've got all this regulation that's coming in. EPCs, the banning of Section 21s. People don't know where they're going to stand in a year or so's time. So a lot more people now are thinking, right, that interest rate rise, where's it going to be at Christmas? Am I going to start losing money? Negative. But they don't necessarily want to sell quickly and maybe take 80-85%. And Simon was saying about some of the strategies that their clients would pick and what they can do to help those types of investors.
So there are lots of strategies that most investors just don't know about, and they're kind of a little bit creative. And the important thing to say is these are just tools that work. And one I'm going to talk about is purchase lease options, and another one is vendor finance. Now, purchase option is the idea where you're a seller and I'm a buyer. You don't want the hassle anymore. You want to get away from it. You don't really need to sell. And if you did, you just put the money in the bank. Or maybe you've got a portfolio. You don't want to sell them all straight away because you're going to pay capital gains tax. You'd love to sell over a period of time, 5 years or so, but you don't want to have the hassle hanging around. So you could come to me and say, Simon, please take this off my hands. They stay in your name, David. I commit to paying the mortgage, to covering the maintenance, to looking after it, and I've got a deal where we buy it in the future. And I might be prepared to pay the full market price in the future in the hope that the value's going to go up. Now, things might dip down a bit, so the longer that is, 4 or 5 years, the better. And the point here is, David, you can sell at the full price, you walk away from hassle, and depending on the deal, I might even be able to not only cover costs, but give you a little bit of extra cash flow. And the way I could do that is you might have a single let property, as many landlords have, right? Maybe that could be used as an HMO.
Yeah.
So you renting out a single doesn't make money. You don't want to be an HMO landlord, but we know what you're doing. It's a great strategy, and we've got enough profit to make it worth our while and still give you maybe the full market rent. Yeah. So obviously, all deals are negotiable, but that's a great solution for people who don't really need the money now, just want to get away from the hassle.
So I'm saying to Simon, I've got a property that fits the bill entirely. Like a lot of landlords, when interest rates were at 0.5% or 1/4%, because there's the mortgages were low and all trackers, I kept my rents low, keep my tenants happy and all that. And obviously recently you think, well, the market rent might be 700 on one that I was talking to Simon about, and the tenant's only paying 450. So I've got a challenge with that tenant to say, well, you put it up to 700, but it could also be a HMO and rent £2,000 in Wallace, a big 4-bedroom property. So I've only got a low mortgage on that. It's worth about 130. And I was talking to Simon about if I didn't want to sell that now and I wanted to come up with a solution to that, that was one that kind of fitted the bill.
So instead of you selling it at a discount, maybe 85% of the value, I can say, well, tell you, I'll buy it in 7 years' time. You said you've got 7-8 years on the mortgage.
Yeah.
And if you sold it now, Dave, put the money in the bank, you get no more income from it. Yeah. But if you sold it now, or if you did an option to me rather, I take on the responsibility. I can maybe pay you the 700 because I'm going to use it in a different way. We'd have to obviously check with your lender and all those kind of things, obviously. But then you might be making an extra 250 a month, which if you sold it, you'd get nothing from it.
Yeah.
So 250 a month, well, that's £3,000 a year. Next 7 years, that's an extra 21 grand.
Yeah.
So not only are you selling it for 130, you're getting extra. So you're actually getting 150,000 pounds for a property that's only worth 130 now.
Yeah. So I actually found that quite appealing. So I've got, like, say, 95 properties. Some of the properties I might want to sell. So we've now got some other options and tools for people. So we get a lot of clients calling us up looking for a solution to the problem. Some of them might just want to sell, retire to the sun. But there's a lot of other clients that we don't. 19 out of 20 clients might want a different solution to that. That doesn't involve them having no solution at all. Doesn't involve them selling quickly through an auction, getting half price, languishing on with the estate agents for over a year. And there's some really good tools there, Simon.
Absolutely. So if you've got a property to sell, we're going to put a link below this video. You've got a property to sell, you can fill in the details, let David's team look at it, and they can maybe help you with that. The other thing is, there's one more quick thing we'll talk about, which is vendor finance. So that's where you might say, well, I don't really need the money now, but I don't want to wait 7 years, I want to sell it now. So we say, okay, well, we'll pay you the price, the full price now, 130, but you need to help me with the deposit. Now, you can't do this through traditional lenders because they don't get it. You basically need to go to a bridging company who would understand what's happening. You buy it through bridging. After 6 months ownership, you then refinance to a normal lender, okay? But what it means is you get the property out of your name, comes into my name, you get your debt cleared, and instead of you getting money in the bank doing nothing, you're leaving that as a loan note secured against the property with a restriction. And again, you're making maybe a couple of % on that as opposed to nothing you'd be paid by the bank. So again, it's a different solution, works in different circumstances. I think the idea is to call David and the team to find out, if you've got to put sell, what are your options open to you? And
just to give a real life example, and this isn't what I prepared earlier, but I was saying to Sam, I was speaking to a client with a flat in Birmingham, and he was probably worth about 100 grand. He'd sold it to one of our clients for 90, but he only needed 40 grand out of this to buy another couple of buy-to-lets. So there was an option that our buyer was going to get the finance, going to raise bridging finance on it, and there's a solution there where they could use crowdfunding to fund it. They could raise the money that could give the seller the 40 grand that he wants, and he could keep the money, the equity in the property as a loan note, and not sell the whole property straight away and get some income from that. So there are some real deals that this work for.
Exactly. And each deal's different, right? But I'd say there are two things you should do, two calls to action really. There'll be a link below this video if people want to come and speak to you, David, or team. But also, I'm running an event. We have an annual event called Property Magic Live. Also, we invite you to come and speak, David, to give your experience about what's happening in the market. It's a hybrid event. So it's physical in Birmingham, but also virtual. And we run this every year. The content's different every year because we're teaching what's happening right now, what do you need to be doing over the next 12 months. And because of the changes, because of the risk, we're going to be teaching purchasing options. We're going to be teaching vendor finance, which most people just don't know about. So this is going to be a real competitive. Whether you're looking to sell or looking to buy property, you really need to understand this stuff and give yourself a real competitive advantage. Now, there's going to be a link below here to go to propertymagiclive.co.uk to find out all about it. Tickets are between £1,000 and £2,000, depending whether it's a virtual or a physical. We offer 100% money back guarantee on all the 3-day training, so you could come on it, and if you don't think it's amazing, it's not the best course you've done, let us know, and up to halfway through you have all your money back. So we really take the risk away. But what we're doing, Dave, and you said to me, Simon, can we do something for our clients?
Yeah.
We're going to have a special page we're going to set up, which is going to be something like, we're going to put a link on the video, propertymagiclive.co.uk/NR or something, National Residential.
Yeah. And
if you click on that link, it's going to go through to a page which is going to give you a huge discount. So in other words, this full-on 3-day event, if you want to do it virtually, you're going to be able to do it through National Residential for about £199 plus that. If you want to come physically to Birmingham, get lunches and all the VIP treatment for just under £500.
Yeah,
so, no-brainer really.
No-brainer. You're working with the best, you're working with the experts. Sam's been around even longer than me, haven't you? Right. So good. So I'm going to be messaging all of our clients about these options. You know, it's a sweet spot in the market and for buyers and sellers. And with all of these other options that you can learn, it really is a good time to really invest in your education and see if you can make the most out of the property market. Yeah.
Thank you, David. Great to see you. Hope you enjoy lunch. And invest with knowledge, invest with skill.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Cheers.
Hey, it's Simon here again. I do hope you enjoyed that last video. You know what, watching videos is a great way to build your knowledge. However, there's nothing like attending a live event because you get to connect with a whole load of other people. You get the very latest knowledge distilled into actionable steps for you, and you get to connect and interact with me. We have a big 3-day event coming up, and I'd love to tell you more about it. So if you click on the link below, you can find out about our next 3 big day event. I look forward to seeing you there. So click on the link below. In the meantime, I've lined up another video for you to watch as well.